Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 5, Text number 1. Chapter is entitled Lord Rishabhadev's Teachings. Rishabha Uvacha Nayam Devo Deha Ajam Nirloke Kastan Kamam Arhati Vid Pujam Ye Tapo Divyam Utraka Yena Sattvam Shudyat Yasma Brahmasophyam Tvanantam. Rishabha Uvacha Nayam Devo Deha Bhajan Niloke Kastan Kamam Arhati Vipujam Ye Tapo Divyam Utakayena Sattvam Sudyat Yasmat Brahmasophyam Tvanantam. Rishabha Uvacha Nayam Devo Deha Bhajan Niloke Kastan Kaman Arhati Vipujam Ye Tapo Divyam Utakayena Sattvam Sudyat Yasmat Brahmasophyam Tvanantam. One more. Rishabha Uvacha Lord Rishabhadev said. How many of you are familiar with this verse? How many? No messages? Let's find out why. Ayam, this, Deha, body, Deha Bhajan, all living entities who have accepted material bodies, Nirloke, in this world, Kastan, troublesome, Kaman, sense gratification, Arhati, deserves, Vipujam, of stool eaters, Yea, which, Tapa, austerities and penances, Divyam, divine, Utraka, my dear sons, Yena, by which, Sattvam, the heart, Shudyat, becomes purified, Yasmat, from which, Brahmashokyam, spiritual happiness, two, certainly, Anantam, unending. Have you got any hint yet? Now we will hear. Lord Rishabhadev told his sons, my dear boys, of all the living entities who have accepted material bodies in this world, one who has been awarded this human form should not work hard day and night simply for sense gratification, which is available even for dogs and hogs that eat stool. One should engage in penance and austerity to attain the divine position of devotional service. By such activity, one's heart is purified, and when one attains this position, he attains eternal blissful life, which is transcendental to material happiness and which life means voluntarily practicing suffering for the advancement of spiritual life. There is, of course, suffering in the lives of animals and plants, which are suffering due to their past misdeeds. However, human beings should voluntarily accept suffering in the form of austerities and penances in order to attain the divine life. After attaining the divine life, one can enjoy happiness eternally. After all, every living entity is trying to enjoy happiness, but as long as one is engaged in a material body, he has to suffer different kinds of miseries. A higher sense is present in the human form. We should act according to superior advice in order to attain eternal happiness and go back to Godhead. It is significant in this verse that the government and the natural guardian of the Father should educate subordinates and raise them in Krishna consciousness. Devoid of Krishna consciousness, every living being suffers in the cycle of birth and death perpetually. To relieve them from this bondage and enable them to become blissful and happy, Bhakti Yoga should be taught. A foolish civilization neglects to teach people how to rise to the platform of Bhakti Yoga. Without Krishna consciousness, a person is no better than a hog or a dog. The instruction of Rishabdev are very essential at the present moment. People are being educated and trained to work very hard for sense gratification, and there is no sublime pain in life. A man travels to earn his livelihood, leaving home early in the morning, catching a local train and being packed in a compartment. He has to stand for an hour or two in order to reach his place of business. Then again he takes a bus to get to the office. At the office he works hard from 9 to 5. Then he takes 2 or 3 hours to return home. After eating he has sex and goes to sleep. For all this hardship, his only happiness is a little sex. Yanmaitanadi Vinameni Sukham Hi Tuchchan. Rishabdev clearly states that human life is not meant for this kind of existence, which is enjoyed even by dogs and hogs. Indeed, dogs and hogs do not have to work so hard for sex. Human beings should try to live in a different way and should not try to imitate dogs and hogs. The alternative is mentioned. Human life is meant for tapasya, austerity, and penance. By tapasya, one can get out of the material clutches. When one is situated in Krishna consciousness, devotional service, his happiness is guaranteed eternally. By taking the Bhakti Yoga, devotional service, one's existence is purified. The living entity is seeking happiness life after life, but he can make a solution to all his problems simply by practicing Bhakti Yoga. Then he immediately becomes eligible to return home back to Godhead, as confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 4:9. Janakarma Chamaitivyam Evam Yoga Tattataha Taktateham Punaja Anaitimameti Savarjana. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but obtains my eternal abode of Arjuna. Vanchakapatu Vaishnava Kipasatu Vijam Patitanam Pavanimam Vaishnavyo Om Namah. So, Rishabdev is teaching his sons, and by doing so, he is instructing all of us how we should be responsible in regard to training those who are our dependents. For it is stated, no one should become a spiritual master, nor a father, nor a mother, nor a teacher, nor leader of any type, unless he can deliver his dependents from the repetition of body is called Arthada. Why doesn't everyone stay at the place? And you can tell everybody who can't go out to come back. Just hear it. Human life is meant for benefiting others, and therefore it is called Arthada, which means that there is a great value to it. As mentioned in this verse by Rishabdev, the value of it is not to eat better or to have better sex life. Although this seems to be the preoccupation of the human beings, so-called human beings today. But in fact, it is not the real value of human life. As a matter of fact, regarding sex life, other animals have got a better facility. Whatever the different aspects of sex life are concerned, other animals have got a better facility, and they have no worry about human conventions. They don't have to worry about having sex in private. Of course, nowadays, human beings have also come to that standard where they also don't have to worry, and they think that that is considered to be a more liberated position. They aren't certainly liberated, they're liberated from the human form into the animal form. That's the only thing they've succeeded in doing. So, of course, it is easy enough to read and to think about how to come out of this condition, but it is more difficult to actually do it. Kama esha kroda esha raja guna samukha. Because we are bound by the ropes of material nature, it is very difficult to become free from their influence. Arjuna asks Krishna that by what is one forced to act, even against his better judgment, against his will? And Krishna tells him it's because of being entangled in the modes of material nature. So we are conditioned in so many ways, even after being devotees, even after being initiated, we still find ourselves in a conditioned stage. Because we do not know how to extricate ourselves from the effect or influence of the three modes. The process of bhakti yoga is actually meant to do this, but it requires some sense control, self-control, and that is why Rishabdev mentions here one should engage in penance and austerity. Tapa. Tapa, one word, the Prabhupada says austerities and penance. This is a very important point, that every living entity undergoes austerities. But when we see, for example, that an animal undergoes austerities, and they do, fact, they have become degraded by their association. And Rupa Goswami says that one should give up the association with non-devotees. He never imagined, or perhaps he did, but in any case, he certainly wasn't even thinking that people would be having to give up the association, intimate connection with dogs. He was speaking about fallen humans. But human beings have come so far down already after only 5,000 years of the Kali Yuga that it's even gone beyond what the Goswamis indicated for statements. So animals undergo austerities like dogs do in India, but what do they get from it? Not much. They simply live out the reactions to their past sins, but they don't actually make real advancement because their austerity is not the same as what is indicated. Tapasya brahmacharya samena cha amena cha tyakina satya socha yamena yamena va. This is actual austerity. Tapasya means the first austerity is brahmacharya. Now brahmacharya doesn't simply refer to those who are in brahmacharya ashram, as we see brahmacharya ashram, but it means all devotees are supposed to be brahmacharis. Anyone who is a Vaishnava is considered, should be a brahmachari. They may not be nice to be brahmachari, as Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati was, but they're meant to be brahmachari. They're meant to be celibate. Celibacy not only means, within the context of no sex, it means no illicit sex. So for one who is not married, it means no sex. And for one who is married, celibacy means to have sex only for the purpose of procreating children. And automatically, so many problems are avoided. The whole situation between men and women basically begins from this point of sex life. Therefore, you will find later on, coming up, in a few verses later, 5, 8, it will come. Mungsa mitunani param gitam. Very famous verse, coming. Tayor mito yadaya grandim ahu ato grihasheta sutapta vitaya janasimo amyam aham amiti. The attraction between male and female is the basic principle of material existence. It says everything begins from this point, the attraction between male and female. Why? Because at the time of creation, how is it that creation takes place? By the joining together of Shambhu and Maya. Shambhu is the original male principle, and Maya is the original material female principle. So when these two join together, then everything in material creation begins. And since the effect has within it the nature of the cause, this is observed. Just like two people have sex and the child is a result, the child has within him the nature of the cause. So the effect always has within it the nature of the cause. So since the cause of everything begins with the combination of Shambhu and Maya, the male and female generative organs, therefore everything that comes as a result, the whole material creation, has this imprint stamped upon it. So it says here, the attraction between male and female is the basic principle of material existence. It's already established. As soon as you are in this material world, it doesn't matter, irrespective of what type of body you get, this thing is stamped on you. Sex, attraction is there. Therefore, it stands to reason that if you want to reverse the process of creation, if you want to get out of material creation, then you have to remove this imprint. You have to become free from sex desire, and there's no alternative to this. As long as that desire remains within the heart, one has to take birth and continue in material life. On the basis of this misconception, why is it a misconception? spirit soul comes floating impregnated into the material energy, which consists of the modes of nature and all the different ingredients of material nature, pradhan. And these things start to surround the soul, just like we're surrounded by clothing, or a body, we're surrounded by a room, we're surrounded by an atmosphere, but we are quite different. So this type of knowledge, again, is necessary. That's why in the very beginning, you'll find this knowledge in the very beginning of Bhagavad Gita. Before Krishna begins to tell Arjuna about how to become detached, he first of all wants to tell him who he is, so that he can have the intelligence and knowledge by which to remain fixed and free from the pressure which comes about on account of material existence. So this one is maybe, on the basis of this misconception, it is a misconception to think that you are this body, to think that you have anything to do with this material world, which ties together the hearts of male and female. Sex life immediately ties them together, like a magnet and iron would just be drawn together. It is observable in every species of life. One becomes attracted to his body, and it doesn't stop there. Where does it go to? The home, property, children, relatives, wealth. It expands, strida. Therefore the word stri means not just female, but it means that which expands material pleasure. It's the principle by which material pleasure is expanded. And for a woman, it's a man. I mean, whenever women should never feel prejudiced against by these statements, because you should always understand that this is simply a way of explaining the principle, but that the same holds true in the opposite way. That as for a man, the woman expands material sense gratification. So similarly it is to be observed that for a woman, the man becomes the means to expand material sense gratification. So everything extends then. As soon as a husband and wife get together, one thing follows after another. I recall when Srila Prabhupada he met with the brahmacharis from the Radhamana party, and the first thing he said to them is, don't become married. Because as soon as you get married, the first thing that will happen is that the wife will say, where is our home? And then you will have to work hard to arrange that house, and clothing, and jewelry. And then, after having made all those arrangements, you have to use them, and the result of using them will be a child. And then the child will need so many things. And it goes on and on. And that simple-hearted, unentangled brahmachari suddenly finds himself overwhelmed by so many material necessities of demand, so many material demands, far beyond what his individual needs were. Before, all he needed was 2 pairs of gopi and a dhoti and a chadar. And now suddenly there's a long list of requirements. So Prabhupada told the brahmacharis of the Radharana party, if you're intelligent, you will avoid this altogether. You will avoid it. So how to avoid it? It has to be done by the performance of tapasya, brahmacharya. You have to practice brahmacharya. And what does that mean? Samena. Samena means to control the mind. This is the meaning of yoga. The mind is the center of the senses. So the mind has to be controlled. How is the mind controlled? Always engage the mind in thinking of me, Krishna says. Now you can see a good example of brahmacharya is our sannyasi, Swami. He's a very nice brahmacharya. And what is his way of controlling his mind? Always remembering Krishna's pastimes. Right? You just watch it and it just goes on and on. He can recite so many wonderful pastimes from Krishna book and other literatures. Sadhana Bhakti Uchite. How does a devotee control his senses? By absorbing them in the service of Krishna. This is the advantage of bhakti as opposed to jnana. The jnani simply tries to intellectually detach himself by understanding that the material world is not real. This is not real. 1980. This is not real. This is not real. This is not real. But what happens is that the senses are still desiring strong. They're not at all satisfied. And so he's constantly in the situation of trying to fight the demands of the senses. But a devotee doesn't have that problem. Because the devotee has ample engagement for his senses. And so even sex life, supposing someone finds that they cannot abstain from sex altogether, then in the path of bhakti, one can easily control by getting married. The jnanis cannot do that. Therefore, the Mayavadis have to take sannyas. They have to. That's their system. Everybody has to take sannyas. Because there's no question of married life and absorption in dovetail like this. But therefore, the bhakti system is so much better and more easy. And we see that. Otherwise, for us, what hope would there be? Having taken birth in these fallen countries of the West, we have to have a system which allows us to engage our senses fully. And tyagena, Prabhupada says, voluntarily giving, tyag means to perform, to renounce or to give something for a better cause. Not just to renounce. In other words, we do not just renounce, but our tyag is to, Rupa Goswami has described, yukta vairagya. Renunciation means not falgu vairagya. Yukta vairagya and falgu vairagya. One type of renunciation is legitimate or genuine, and the other one is considered to be false, like a monkey. The monkey, markat vairagya. Markat vairagya means monkey renunciation. What does that term derive from? We see in the forest so many monkeys live. Who else lives in the forest? Many hermits. And the hermits, they live naked in the forest and they live on fruits. Monkeys also live naked and they live on fruits. But what does a monkey do? He has 20 female monkeys to keep as companions. So this is called markat vairagya, the renunciation, superficially. Mityatara sabuchite. That type of person is called a pretender, who makes an external show of renunciation, but who internally is always desirous of associating with the opposite sex. This is a type of cheating. Raghunath Goswami in Manashiksha also, warns against this type of cheating mentality. So, Rupa Goswami says that instead of being such a cheater, you should learn to engage everything that can be engaged in Krishna's service. And by letting Krishna be the enjoyer, that will be tyag. That's renunciation. Not to say, like the Mayavadis do, this material world is false, and therefore will have nothing to do with it. Well, we see that there's so much value. Look at this temple room. Even balloons, right, which are normally just playthings for children, they have their purpose now. They're decorating Krishna's temple. What to speak of everything else here? So much material energy is here. But it all has its proper utilization. cuts that with the sharp knife. And what is the knife? It has two edges. What are the edges of the knife? Knowledge and detachment. He is knowledgeable and detached, and by his association, he teaches those through whom he associates with by his words and actions how to have the same knowledge and how to be detached. Bhagavad Gita tells us what is the real way to become detached? By developing higher taste. In this verse that we're hearing today, it mentions Tapo Divyam Pudravid Yena Sattva. Then Sutyad Yasmat Brahma Sokyam Tu Anantam. Brahma Sokyam means to become Brahma Sukha. Brahma Sukha is not like the material happiness which we hear about. It is a much better happiness. We can speak of that in a minute. So, again, talking about the positive. Sochavyam. Sochavyam means to control by regulative principles, and thus keep oneself internally and externally clean. This is another type of austerity. Internal cleansing through chanting, external cleansing through bathing regularly, taking prasad. It is an austerity. Getting up early, taking a cold shower. 20 people have to go through the shower, and the water is cold. But you should be minded. I remember our Radha party, some of our men used to take, the only way they didn't have any water, so they used to roll in the snow. Some of them worked in the northern regions, they would roll in the snow, and they'd bathe, just like you use soap. They'd take snow and just wash their bodies with it. So the next time you take your cold morning shower, just remember this one. You can reach for a bar of snow, and rub it down with snow, and then actually get warm that way. This is the way to become warm. You just take a cold shower, you'll be very warm afterwards. So, internally, we stay warm, fired up, by chanting Hare Krishna. And then, what else? Yamena and Niyamena. Yamena, Prabhupada translates as avoiding violence of any type. And Niyamena, by regularly chanting the holy name of the Lord. So all of these are different types of austerities. And Rishabdev says that voluntarily accept these austerities. Voluntarily. Seek them out. It is said that austerity is what? It is the wealth of the renounced Buddha. It is the wealth of the renounced Buddha. So, who is in the renounced Buddha? Not only sannyasis, because all of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's followers are meant to be on this point of renunciation. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching what? Vidya, knowledge, and Vairagya. Vairagya Vidya. Renunciation and knowledge. So, we should not be afraid to practice some of them. Actually, we will come out much happier. The karmis, the materialists, are afraid of austerities. The whole material civilization is based upon removing austerity. That means it is based upon human degradation. Because animals, even animals don't do this, but they want to remove, they want to take away that thing which elevates one to be the first class human being, which is austerity. That they want to remove. So Rishabdev is saying that you should engage in such austerities. Why? To attain a divine position of devotional service. Not for another reason. Another reason in the sense that we see that the maybe some fame, like the politicians, they do super austerities. Now there's in the US, the elections, right? So they're all, the candidates are really doing austerities. They're going 18 hours a day, and they're in total anxiety. But why? Just so that they can get elected, and not so, let's face it, it's definitely so many material motives are mixed in. So any type of austerity, just like on Ekadasi, if you fast, what's the purpose of the fast? What is Prabhupada saying in active devotion? It's the purpose of performing Ekadasi. He says to develop love for Radha Govinda, to develop love for Govinda, to hear, chant about Govinda. This is why we do Ekadasi. This is why we fast on Balaram's appearance day or Janmashtami. This is the purpose of our austerities. And what is the best austerity this age? Sankirtan Yajna, going out and distributing transcendental literature, distributing transcendental books. It's difficult. It's difficult to be a steady book distributor, not to let your mind degrade you, so that 4 days out of 5 you don't even go out because you're such a complete mental mess that you can't even control your mind enough to do what a devotee is supposed to do. You go out on the street and your mind again has to be controlled. Sankirtan requires perfect performance of austerity. You have to control your mind, you have to control your senses. It's such a perfect form of yoga. And therefore, Srila Prabhupada pushed us into this book distribution. There was a very good reason why he did this. Because he knew that to perform book distribution will automatically entail tremendous capacity. That's why, unless one has great attachment to the order of the spiritual master, it's very difficult to do Sankirtan. Very difficult, because the austerities are severe. So, unless one has great attachment to the conviction and the instructions of the spiritual master, it is very difficult to remain a steady Sankirtan devotee. By such activities, Sankirtan and other devotional activities, one attains eternal blissful life, Brahma Sokya, Brahma Sukha, the happiness that comes from Brahman. Now, this Brahman doesn't mean impersonal Brahman, because Rupa Goswami has very clearly stated that anyone who thinks that the happiness of impersonal realization is attractive should understand that one drop of the happiness that comes from serving Krishna cannot be compared with oceans and oceans of happiness which come from Brahman realization. Brahman realization is spiritual suicide, by which one gives up one's mood as a servant of God. When you go into the Brahman, if anyone ever succeeds, then they never can come out of that position. Prabhupada says there's the position where one eternally loses one's spirit of serving God. That's why it's called spiritual suicide. Spirit souls that actually, if they're able to succeed in getting into the Brahman, they can never come out of that position. So it's the most powerful hell of all. Whereas speaking of that, someone was saying, it is like the eternal hell and damnation of the Christians. The closest we have to it is Brahman. So it's such a horrible position, and that's why who goes there? Those demons who are killed by the Lord. They get that. We get some small inkling of it, but we do not have it really yet. What we find or feel as spiritual pleasure is like the abhas of real happiness. You know what abhas is? It means, just like we say, nam abhas. Abhas means what? There's not just like now when the sun is rising, but you don't see the sun yet, but the sky becomes lit up. It is still brilliant and nice, but it is not as when the sun comes up fully. There is light, but there is not the full benefit of sunshine. Right? Just like on a cloudy day, also there's some light, but especially it said when the sun is rising, but not seen it. So the happiness that we are feeling now in Krishna consciousness is like that happiness. It is only a small little bit of what it can actually be like. When that happiness comes, then the devotee becomes drowned in the ocean of happiness. And those devotees who are perfect can experience this. Perfect devotees. But that will take so much heart later to come to that point. And so much mercy, as we were discussing yesterday, has to come our way. It continues forever. It is transcendental to the happiness. It is eternal. So we have to persevere in this process of Krishna consciousness in order to come to that point of eternal happiness, which is completely Brahmabhuta Prasanatma, Asojati and Komishati. No hankering, no lamentation. Prasanna, fully joyful. Then you will never be fallen down again. Once having come to that point, then you never come back into this material world. We'll stop here and ask if anyone has any questions. That verse is describing the verse that we're talking about, and the situation we're talking about is someone who imagines, because it says mindless, within the mind he imagines this. He imagines the Brahman. And therefore such a person will again be seen to engage in material activities. It doesn't mean the person who is perfectly Brahman realized and enters as the Brahmajoti. It means someone who aspires and imagines within his mind that, he will come down and engage in material activities again. But the person who goes into Siddhaloka, into the Brahmajoti, never comes. He's suicides permanently. His service spirit is totally destroyed. Permanently destroyed. Eternally. He doesn't come out. It's suicide. That's the meaning of suicide. He remains a speck of light in the Brahmacharya. But that other verse describes mind, describes within the mind the contemplates Brahman. The fact is that very few persons will come to that point of going into the Brahmacharya, especially now who are to get into that position is so nearly impossible.
समझ में
मेन थिंग ऋषभ देव आज फर्स्ट लेसन में बताया तपस्या। तपस्या मतलब ऑस्टेरिटी। तपस्या हम लोग के वेल्थ है। और तपस्या जब हम लोग करता है तो हम के ज्ञान और वैराग्य, नॉलेज दिया जाए। और तपस्या नहीं करो तो नॉलेज रिटेन नहीं है। त्याग के विषय में बताया जाए कि सेंसेस के एंजॉयमेंट नहीं करो, सेंसेस के भगवान की सेवा में, ऋषिकेश की सेवा में, बट तपस्या नहीं करता। तो तपस्या करो कि तपस्या कौन सी है? भगवान के नाम जपो, चैंटिंग करी, जो अपन सेंसेस के भगवान की सेवा में लगे। मंगल आरती उठी ना, जैसे श्री गुरुदेव समझाता रहा कि ठंडा वेदा में भी जो एकदम रीली में वेल्थ कैरी करे तपस्या, तो मंगल आरती उठी नहाए आगे भगवान के लिए आए। तो श्री गुरुदेव एग्जाम्पल देता रहा, राधा दामोदर पार्टी के टाइम उधर अमेरिका में स्नो भी हुए लगे, सब डिवोटी लग जाएंगे स्नो में लोटे, बड़े से परात के सफा कर ले, बिकॉज स्नो से लगल के नहावे। ठंडा में ठंडा पानी से नहाया तो गर्म हो जाता है। फिर दूसरा बात तपस्या के बतावे क्लीनिनेस, अंदर की क्लीनिनेस बाय चैंटिंग, बाहर की क्लीनिनेस बाय टेकिंग डेली बाथ, नहाना रोज, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। सफा कपड़ा पहनना। तपस्या नहीं कर पाएगा तो धर्म की खंबा डगमगाए, बिकॉज 4 खंबा है धर्म के, तपस्या, दया, सच्चाई और सोचन, क्लीनिनेस। ये चारों के चारों मांगो एकदम स्टेडी रहे। तपस्या परमो धर्म बताए। आज वाले बोले तपस्या हमों के सबके वेल्थ है, हम माता सबके रिच है ना, जितना तपस्या करे उतना वेल्थी रहेगा, भक्ति के वेल्थ। और इसमें आनंद से भरेगा, अब सदा सुखी रहेगा, प्रसन्न आत्मा है, ब्रह्मा भूता प्रसन्न आत्मा, न सोचती न कंचती। तब अब दुखी नहीं रहेगा, रोएंगे बिरे करेंगे, अब सदा आनंद में रहेगा। तो ज्यादा करके हम तपस्या नहीं मानता करें, जैसे श्री गुरुदेव समझाए, अभी के समाज में तपस्या नहीं करे मांगे, वो मांगे खाली रिजल्ट्स। तब नहीं सके ऐसे कोई, अभी कोई स्कूल भी पढ़ी जाए, एग्जाम आए से पहले उसकी परीक्षा करे, कितना तपस्या करे पड़े पर अपन फेवरेट टीवी प्रोग्राम नहीं देखी, अपन नींद हराम कर दी, खाए पिए वाली चीज की बहुत ध्यान नहीं लगे, मन लगे हमें फिजिक जुनिया करेंगे, हमें एग्जाम करेंगे, हमें टेस्ट करेंगे, परिश्रम करी ना, तपस्या करी उसके लिए। तो बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है। जैसे शिव प्रभुपाद समझावे हैं कि जैसे यशोदा मैया ने परिश्रम करी से तब कृष्णा जाए दयालिस, तब कहीं कृष्णा के बाण पाइस। तो बिना तपस्या से कुछ हासिल नहीं हुए। दूसरा बात बताता है श्री गुरुदेव कि संसार में लोग ऐसे हैं जो बोले संसार बहुत माया में हम लोग के कर दे, तो ये नहीं करो, वो नहीं करो, वो नहीं करो, अपन आप मत करो, ये नहीं सुनो, वो नहीं सुनो, बहुत हार्ड है। तभी बोले वेलकम टू पर्सन इन द एंड बोले चलो हम संन्यास धारण कर लीजिए, हम चलो भगवान में ही समा जाओ, जिसको बोले सहज मुक्ति। ऐसा मुक्ति आपके सुसाइड के रकम है, आत्महत्या के रकम है। जाके ब्रह्मन में ब्रह्मा ज्योति में चमक चमक जो चमके लाइट उसमें जल सकते, परंतु इच्छा जो है वो समाप्त नहीं हुई से, उसके कारण फिर से तुम्हें फिर पुनः जन्म लेके पड़े। अभी अपन डिजायर तो मतलब रोक के रखा है, बैठा है ना, अभी भूख लगी है, एकदम दबाई के रखा आपको, तो कितना देर दबा पाएगा, ब्रेक हो जाए, बिकॉज इट्स आर्टिफिशियल रिनाउंसिएशन। तो तभी बोले रियल रिनाउंसमेंट बनो, युक्त वैरागी बनो। हाँ भूख लगे अभी क्लास के बाद महाप्रसाद देगा, महाप्रसाद देगा, तो उसके कारण युक्त वैरागी, मरकट वैरागी नहीं बनो। मरकट वैरागी जैसे बंदरगण, बंदरगण भी वन में जाए थे, ऋषिगण भी वन में जाए तपस्या करे, ऋषिगण बिना कपड़ा के लिए बिना पिन बांध के खाली दंदल में कपड़ा पहने नहीं, बंदर लोग भी फ्रूट्स खाए, ऋषि लोग भी फ्रूट्स खाए, फल फूल खाए, हाँ? पर तो बंदर के पास 20 बंदरानी संगे उसके एंजॉय करेंगे। युक्त वैरागी के अर्थ है कि जो कुछ है, जो चीज भगवान की सेवा में सके यूज करे, उसे भगवान की सेवा में लगा, जो चीज नहीं उसको छोड़ दो। नशा नहीं करो, गैस की गैरवर्षण नहीं करो, जुआ नहीं खेलो, मांस मछली अंडा नहीं खाओ, ये सब त्यागना पड़ेगा। ये तपस्या है। बिना तपस्या के हम मनुष्य नहीं रहते। खाली खाओ, सूतो, अपन बचाव करो और अपना बच्चा पैदा करो, यानी अपन प्लेजर एक्सपेंड करो। ये तो जानवर भी करते हैं। तो ये है फर्स्ट लेसन ऋषभ देव की टीचिंग में, आप सब कोई देख सकते हैं। ऑस्टेरिटी इज द वेल्थ ऑफ द रिनाउंसेंट। वेल्थ यानी पैसा, ऑस्टेरिटी इज द वेल्थ ऑफ द डिवोटी। और ब्रह्मचारी कोई ब्रह्मचारी अनमेरिड लोग के लिए ब्रह्मचारी बोलते, सब कोई जितना भी भक्त रहते हैं सब ब्रह्मचारी पालन करते हैं। उसका मतलब कौन सी सेक्स डिजायर, सेक्स कंट्रोल करे टिल दे आर इन मैरिड लाइफ, उसमें भी कंट्रोल है ओनली फॉर प्रोड्यूसिंग चिल्ड्रन। वानप्रस्थ, ब्रह्मचारी और सन्यासी में तो नो सेक्स है। Srila Gurudev explained that तुम्हारा desire है then there is a ashram, go in married life. But then ब्रह्मचारी लोग की प्रपादी भी बताई इससे मैरिड लाइफ में जायज पहले सोच लेना, बिकॉज जैसे मैरिज ब्रह्मचारी से गृहस्थ जीवन में जाएगा, सबसे पहले औरत अपनी घर का। अभी को बस पार्टी में हरि नाम में है तो लोग सबको बोले बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन करता है, डिवोटी लोग ब्रह्मचारी लोग था उनके बोले मैरिड लाइफ में जाएगा तो कभी औरत बोली घर का, ज्वेलरी का, कपड़ा का, फिर लड़के आए उनके सब डिमांड सब पूरा मेहनत करनी पड़ी, सब चीज करी उसमें। तो डिजायर ऐसी चीज है कोई रोके नहीं सकते, कोई डिजायर है तेरी तो वो खा। ऐसे नहीं कि आप मेरी लाइफ में जाए मतलब तो मम्मी डैडी आपकी सब चीज पूरा देगी। यू हैव टू वर्क हार्ड फॉर इट। तुम्हारा डिजायर है, तुम्हें मांग मेहनत करके होगा गेट अ हाउस, प्रोवाइड एवरीथिंग, सो यू हैव टू वर्क हार्ड, अपन आप मेहनत करके। So better है to chant nicely and control your mind and senses, पता है, हाँ? Otherwise you have to go into married life because वो बाधा है, तपस्या हो नहीं दे, mind clean नहीं, senses clean नहीं, उठे नहीं पाएगा, गुरु के आज्ञा नहीं पालन कर पाएगा। श्रील गुरुदेव कितना अच्छा एग्जाम्पल दिस। तपस्या सबसे बड़ा तपस्या है संकीर्तन जाके करो, और संकीर्तन सब कोई नहीं कर पाए जब तक जो कोई अपन गुरु के हाथ में बैठाई उसके इंस्ट्रक्शन। जब बाबा की डिजायर है सब कोई के इंस्ट्रक्शन है, इफ यू लव मी डिस्ट्रीब्यूट माय बुक्स। अब बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन करेगा जब तो ऑटोमेटिकली तुम्हारा माइंड, तुम्हारा मन, तुम्हारा इंद्रियां एकदम कंट्रोल रहे। Because कैसे people are really good distribution, you have to be so controlled. ऐसे जैसे स्टोरी बता रहे कोई बुक तुम्हारे हाथ में देता तो वो तुम्हारा बुक फाड़ दे, you have to be so tolerant. तुम्हारा नहीं सकता गुस्सा दिखा, कोई नहीं खरीदी तो हम नहीं बनता, you have to be peaceful. Okay, so this is teaching you tolerance. It's a tapasya. चैतन्य महाप्रभु तभी आगे सिखाते हैं युक्त वैरागी। You have to become true renounced. You have to be tolerant, patient. अभी भक्ति शुरू करें, अभी नहीं सब चीज आएगी, but you have to walk towards it. आज कल ये अभ्यास नहीं करेगा ऐसे नहीं आएगी। You have to do it every day. Alright? श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, श्री गुरुदेव की जय, श्री तमाम कृष्ण गोस्वामी श्री गुरुदेव की जय, निताई गौर प्रेमानंदी, हरि हरि बोल।
इला लेक्चर में प्रभु